With over 16 years' experience in international trade advisory, business development, protocol, and diplomacy, the Honorable Patricia Kenneth-Divine has worked extensively with hundreds of global businesses, government departments, and diplomatic communities to transform global opportunities for change and success. She is the director of the International Center for Protocol and Diplomacy, leading on strategic engagements to promote protocol and diplomacy globally. She has recorded phenomenal success and achievements working with global brands and partners across the world. The Honorable Patricia Kenneth-Divine is the president of the Global Protocol and Diplomatic Network and a champion for diversity and inclusion, promoting a transformation and innovation agenda through ethnic and minority business engagements. She also supports the petition for World Protocol Day on the 11th of May. Through her engagements with professional institutions and universities, she is keen on bringing a global change through learning and development, especially in the protocol and diplomatic communities.
Great. So hello everyone, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the final session of the Global Online Conference on the role of diplomacy in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 agenda. It's been a beautiful week since we started on Monday, and I can say that today is just going to be even more beautiful as we finish up. So once again, as just shared, I am Patricia Kenneth-Divine, the founder and director of the International Center for Protocol and Diplomacy, ICPD, here in the United Kingdom. And for those of you who are just joining the conference for the first time, it is my pleasure to meet you and to also say welcome. And for those of us who's been joining, thank you so much for giving your time and your commitment for all the sessions we've had during the week. I'll use this opportunity to acknowledge and welcome our special guests present with us here, our ambassadors, diplomats, professionals, business leaders, our global network, sponsors and partners today who's made this program conference really successful. We give special thanks to and recognition to the ICPD Alumni Network, who's worked so hard to see the success of this conference. So a big applause to every one of us who's made it successful. So like I said before, in the last few days of this conference, we've had over 20 speakers share excellent views and expertise on the role of diplomacy in achieving the SDGs 2030 agenda. We've reached out to both our French and Spanish communities through very inspiring sessions that have also articulated the issues of diplomacy in relation to sustainability. I'll quote our keynote speaker, Professor Giovanni Ferri, who reflected on the SDGs dashboard and across Europe. It was really interesting to see within the top 20 countries like Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Australia, and Germany, who's been on the first to the sixth place respectively on the scorecard. This shows to us that sustainable development goals are actually very relevant. During the last few days, we've also shared the sustainable development and international affairs has also been relevant. We've seen how diplomacy has reflected on all parts of our 17 SDG goals, from COVID to food security to energy crisis, financial aid, diplomacy, foreign aid. All of these have been reflected upon in the last few days. And also in the last few days, we've monitored the strength and value of diplomacy in achieving the SDG goals. We have a better understanding and a new perception. The sustainable and resource optimization also brings diplomacy into the sustainability social inputs and transformational strategies, education, enlightenment, empowerment, engagement, entrepreneurship. These are all areas that we've looked into in the last few days. Sustainable agriculture is also very important, and that has been reviewed as a way of diplomatic influence and food security. Small medium enterprise have also had a role to play, and we consider them very relevant. And in the course of the discussions during the week, we have talked about poverty reduction, economic growth, innovation, and responsible consumption, as all are reflected on the role of diplomacy and how it has helped to promote awareness around the SDGs, increase international partnerships, improve regulatory environment, support and identify opportunities. This conference has provided great opportunities for businesses, government departments, diplomats, professionals, and our participants to explore, build, and position themselves, our organizations, collectively for a global stage. The Sustainable Development Goals 2030 Agenda constitutes a very comprehensive plan of action. Therefore, the overall implementation of this agenda has become paramount, and the mission is to establish a tangible cooperation among the most outstanding players within the international business and diplomatic sphere to discuss and promote the campaign towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. So to say, the SDG is a roadmap out of crisis. We must recognize that achieving the SDGs takes both planning and takes actions for our personal as well as organizational goals. During this conference, as we finish up today, we shall generate relevant information that will unveil the required transformation, inspire and mobilize actions across the globe. We will emphasize on the outcomes of diplomacy and its significant role towards the achievements of SDGs 2030. For those of you who don't know much about the International Center for Protocol and Diplomacy, I would like to say that we are a global, we have a global approach, as our priorities are centered around contributing towards the delivery of sustainable development goals. The International Center for Protocol and Diplomacy, ICPD, is the leading independent platform that educates, influences, transforms, and builds global leaders who make a significant difference within the diplomatic communities and across diversified industries. Our call to action, our first step towards achieving our own quality education goals is to ensure that we have an inclusive and equitable quality education to promote lifelong learning opportunities. We have introduced as a way to go forward the Global Education Program, the Global Executive Education Program, which is a transformational leadership program. Over 300 professionals have benefited from learning opportunities under this platform. We have also introduced 15 new courses within leadership, diplomacy, protocol, international business, finance, culture, tailored to impactful curriculum, techniques, and best practices. We have also kicked off the ICPD Alumni Network, which we are very proud of, comprising of a vibrant community of hundreds of international business protocol and diplomatic professionals across 65 countries, providing exclusive empowerment program. We employ our participants today to be part of this wonderful program going on, and we welcome you. Our second step is actually goal 5. We have a strong passion to achieve gender equality and empower our women and girls and lead them to a new initiative which is creating awareness and increase in terms of productivity and learning. We aim to create optimism around the global business environment and drive awareness for a call to action to achieving the SDGs agenda today. As we begin the discussions from our vibrant and inspiring speakers, I wouldn't want to empty their pool We employ all participants to give in their best and enjoy the sessions.